Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Freak Programming. As you could probably notice, there weren't many videos that were popping up. I was really sick and was not able to create videos during that time. And since I've gone back to work, I've had to do a lot of catch up at work. So I haven't been able to really put full-time effort into these slides. Henceforth, this is going to be a really small lesson plan that we're going to be doing. And as you can tell, today's episode is actually on conditionals, more specifically, the if statements in a language. We'll be doing if-else statements and if-else repeated statements and switch case statements much later on. So don't worry, we will get to those. But for now, we're going to do if statements and how they work syntactically. We will have an example in the next episode, and then we'll have the solution to that example afterwards, or really the more in-depth on how it works specifically, because it can be a quite confusing one, but it is very interesting. So be sure to watch that when it comes out. So if we continue, the syntax of an if statement is as it is below. So if a Boolean expression, and then it says, if the Boolean expression is true, you will do the inside block or inside the curly brackets of that expression. You will initialize or go into or step into the if statement itself if the Boolean expression is true. If the Boolean expression is false, we basically ignore that code section. We ignore it as though it never occurred. So it is rather simple. Now, if statements can be very powerful. For example, as I was saying earlier, this is the flowchart of it. Imagine we're coming in from the top and we're just stepping down our code line by line, and we hit this Boolean expression. And the Boolean expression happens to be false. Well, if we take the false line, we skip over any statement that if statement would have had, and we continue stepping on further. So if there's something that theoretically would break your code that your if statement would need, or the statements inside your if statement would need, that you don't have by the time we hit that if statement and we fail out of the Boolean expression, your code no longer fails during runtime. However, if you didn't have this Boolean expression, your code would fail during runtime. So if statements can help you not fail. They can help redirect the code to make sure that your code runs perfectly. Now, it's not always the case. This is not always like the best fix. There might be some deeper thing to your code that has the main issue to it. But this is basically a band-aid to try to fix any simple solutions. Now, in actual production code, you do not want to have a ton of if statements going, well, if it's this, it's going to break. So you don't want to make all if statements for all edge cases. It's not the best programming style. So don't do that. So if we take the example, if radius is greater than or equal to 0, then we'll get the area and we'll print it out. So currently, radius is 5. That's true. The 5 is greater than or equal to 0. However, if radius was not 5, or if radius was -1, or really if the radius was below 0, then we shouldn't be able to calculate the area of a circle. Geometrically, that doesn't make sense, so therefore, if we try doing that, this would break the logic error. Geometrically, you can't have negative area, at least with basic geometry. If you start going more in depth, you probably can. I don't know for sure, but you probably could. So if you have negative radius, or basically your stuff goes inverse, it shouldn't occur. You break the logic error. So in that case, we would skip over this entire if statement. However, since our radius is 5, we will step into the if statement and we will print out the area. And the flowchart of this is here. So we're stepping through the code. We know radius is 5, so we hit that radius greater than or equal to Boolean expression. We plug in 5. And it goes, oh, that's true. We continue down the line. We do not skip it. We continue down the line. Therefore, we calculate the area, which is radius times radius, and then we print out the area of the circle. of the certain radius is the area. Now that is all for today's lesson. I know it was a pretty short one. Like I said, it is going to be a pretty short one for today, at least. Next time will be a demo of a birthday guesser. This is made entirely of if statements and questions to the end user to try to guess what your birthday is. Now, it is spectacular on how it's run. So after we have this demo, I will go through and actually explain to you the logic behind it that makes it run smoothly and gives you the accurate answer. You may already learn that from the code demo, but I think it's worth a bit of an explanation for those of you that aren't mathematically sound. So I will see you guys in the next 2 videos of the demo of the birthday guesser and the breakdown of the birthday guesser. All right, see you later.